everyone, welcome to my channel. This is Angie and I'm coming today to do a quick mini tutorial on the clipboard that I created for a DT project for Tracy Fox. This was the little mini clipboard project that I did for her. Well, the main project was a journal, and I kind of made some other clipboards just to show you, emphasize more on the clipboard, just because I had glued it on the cover of this little journal. If you have not seen the flip through, excuse me, that is the video previous to this one. So if you want to go over there and check it out, please do. So let's get started. The kit that I used was the Awesome Assemblage Little Layered Tags. And so if you head over to her Etsy, it's Tracy Fox Creative over there, you will print out this, and I'm not quite sure if it was the second or third page, but the tags that you'll be looking for, when I saw them, they look like mini clipboards. That's what I saw. You can do other things, like these are like this, like I said, this is a kit to layer tags with. Let's see. It also has some words, and you're going to want to print that out on transparency if you want to get the look that I created. So I did go ahead and print these out on transparency. You can find transparency on Amazon. If you just look up transparency for inkjet printer, you'll want to print on the grainy side, and that way it won't slip, it'll grab onto it. So you'll want to print out those, and you'll want to print out the kit. And like I said, you're looking for the longer tags with the rounded tab on top. So I went ahead, and we're gonna emphasize a little bit more than on this hidden paperclip one that I had made. We're gonna do a little bit more to it, like, because I had finished this really late and I wanted to do more to it. So we're gonna do something with that. And then so this is with this clipboard. These are the ones I used. And so this one's kind of self-explanatory. I just cut out a bunch of tea-stained notebook paper, and then I cut out a row of her words. And since they're on transparency, I thought they looked kind of neat, like that. So that's that one. Okay, so what you're going to need is like the kit first, and then you're going to need these are Tim Holtz. And all I did was I scuffed them up, and then I rested them in a resting solution. There's many varieties of resting solution. And once you rust them, you can oxidize them a little bit more to get that black look with liver of sulfur. So that's up to you guys. And yeah, you're going to need a few more things. You're going to need some copper tape, maybe some glue. You're going to need some thread needle. And I've got scissors, I've got art glitter glue here. I just got a variety of things, scissors, a little marker to mark. I am going to show you how to cut plexiglass. We are using plexiglass as well. This is plexiglass right here. And there is a film on both sides, and I'm going to show you how to cut that. I will try to find the thickness of plexiglass that I use. It's a really good thickness. It's easy to cut and snap. And you're going to need some cardboard or some flexible cardboard. Well, I wouldn't use cardboard. I would use like some book board, but pliable, not too stiff, because you don't want to thicken these up too much. We're just going for the faux look of the clipboard. And I also used an awl, and that was just to punch the holes here, because we were going to wire wrap the top on. Plus we're going to use some glue. Okay, so let's get started. I think I've mentioned everything. It's enough. So get your cardboard or your little your thinner book board. I'm not sure what I mean, this is probably pretty tiny or thin. Like less than 1/16 of an inch. So it's pretty small. Okay, so you're going to take your cutout. You're going to take your cutout. You're going to cut that out. I used a pretty heavy cardstock on this one. It's pretty thick. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I have a little French bulldog. He gets kind of wants things right now sometimes. Anyways, you're just going to go ahead and cut these out really quick. And I'm not going to spend too much time cutting things out because I'm sure everybody knows how to cut things out. But you're just going to go around and you're going to cut out this tag. And feel free to use whatever one you like. So you're going to cut that out. And I also cut out a backing as well to cover the back of this. You can either stain it or whatnot. I'm going to go ahead and after you cut this out, you're going to glue it on a piece, your piece of hardboard or book board. And once you cut that out, you're going to trim it up. So I'm going to finish up the trimming here so you can see that. Okay, so then you're going to have this. And I did stain the edges because I don't know if you're like me, I like to give a little bit of grunginess to everything. So I went ahead and finished off the edge. I already done the rest. Like I said, this is a quick mini tutorial. Okay, so do it however you like. Now on this one, on the example, the little framed comes off. Now you can go ahead and either glue this on or not. And then I kind of just made a little collage under there. Here, let's take this off so you can see what I'm saying or what I'm talking about. I did this little collage behind it. So this comes off free if that's how you want it, or if you do not want like that look and you just want it staying there permanently, you'll have to go ahead and glue that with some this one's B7000, which this is something I accidentally bought. I thought it was E6000, but this actually works really good and I like the tip better. So, and then I just put a little wood there. I forgot to mention you're also going to have to save a little piece to prop up the little frame, as you saw in the back here, because it's going to add some thickness. So I just put like a little bridge just to prop it up so it sits in the clip nicely. So it lays on the cardboard or the clipboard really nice. Okay, so that goes with that. So after you're done, you're going to, actually I do this afterwards. You're going to grab your clip and you're going to take your marker, and once you have it where you want it set, I kind of just eyeball it, or what side you want. I kind of like this side better. You're going to add two hole marks on each side. Right here and right here. And then you'll have two dots, two black marks there. And then you're going to take your awl and you're going to punch through it. Now be careful you don't like go too deep. You're just trying to get through the thickness, because you will rip, and we're adding wire through this, so we don't want to rip these sections. Okay, so then you're going to get wire, and I use 30 gauge wire here, and then I just do this in a resting solution as well, and I already have a piece cut out here. And then after you find the side you want, I wire wrap everything, you guys. If you watch my videos or take the time to go over and check out some of my other work, you'll see that I use a lot of metal, wire, rust, paper, fabric. Basically, I'm a mixed media artist. So, you're just going to thread that through the other hole. And I like this gauge of wire because it's very pliable and you can actually tie it in a knot. I've used this wire for, I can't even say, 15 plus years on all my projects because it's such a versatile wire. It's strong, but yet it can be cut with scissors and it can be tied in a knot. And then I'm going to go through a few times. And then you're not going to go around the top unless, because if you do that, if you go onto the top, you're not going to be able to open this, right? So we're just going to go through. Sorry guys, I'm recording off my phone. Through the center, and you're just going to come through, and then you're just going to go back through the hole that you made. And you're just going to pull. Now, if you have a tough time pulling wire, which I'm pretty good at still, you can grab your needle nose pliers. Have some right here, and just pull it. You know, you can use these to help pull, make it tight. I'm going to take the other side of the wire and go over one more time. I usually go around 3 times. And if you need wire pliers to help pull you through, like I said, that's how I also do it too. Especially if you have to get in there quick. And I go down one more time. Okay. And then I just take it and I twist it a few times. Then I actually lay it down like this, and I'll cut off the excess. That. And you're going to take your backing if you want. You don't have to, but you're going to have this wire sticking out. And if you want to cover it up, you will use a piece of scrapbook paper of your choice. Okay. Then you're going to cover your back. Make sure you put it the right way. And you'll have that tab. You can go ahead and cut the tab too as well. You don't have to, but I think I've left mine. Yeah. Your paper clip will kind of hide it anyways. So, okay. Okay, so now that we have everything glued down, we're going to take some B7000, and like I said, I like this glue because it has this, well, this little tip in it. It's a really good glue. So you're going to go in here, and you're going to open this up, and you're going to kind of glue in the back there. I like to reinforce things. And then after I get this back in here, okay, close that up. And then I take a little clamp and just clamp that, and we'll let that sit aside. Next, you're going to take your picture of choice. And I did want to mention this, and I'll also put this in text. I did print these out borderless and at 100%. And that all seemed to work really well for the size of the book I was going for. If you want these a little bit smaller, just print them out at the size that they print out in their original form. I was looking for a little bit bigger for my journal cover. Let's see, where did that go? Oh, there it is. This is, so mine ended up being like a little less than 2.5 by 1.5 from corner to corner. And then with the clip on top, it ends up being about 3 inches. So it depends on the size you're going for. Print that out. And so then you'll cut out or use the picture of your choice, and then also add the backing as well. And then you're going to print out your little, I printed out the whole kit at the same size, borderless at 100%. So I'm going to take a little bit of glue here. This is art glitter glue. And I'm just going to add a dab. This seemed to hold pretty well. I'm just looking for it to stay in place. I just thought that added kind of a really cool touch to it. Close your glue up. And then I'm going to show you how to cut plexiglass. So I'm just using this for an example, this little frame. I use these little book plates and I use them for everything. I use them for frames, for dangles. I put fabric in here. I do all kinds of stuff. So these are amazing. So find whatever frame you want and then grab your plexiglass and then you're going to measure it out. Then you're going to mark it with your marker on the plastic. I don't take any of this plastic off quite yet. And I'm going to need one thing to excuse my chair, you guys. It's like a vintage chair. It's a little squeaky. So grab your cutting board. And like I said, I marked it with the marker already. And you're leaving both pieces of film on. And then you're going to take an X-Acto knife. You don't need a heavy duty one. I think I found these at Harbor Freight and they're really amazing and I love them. And then some people ask, they're not quite sure how to get to the next blade. And so I think I'll show that because I think this needs a new blade anyways. So you're going to take it up to the line. There we go. Right here. See, there's a line. And those are score lines. And I just bring it to, even it up with a piece of metal right there in the blade. Then I take a pliers and I just snap. And then throw that away. So then you have a clean blade and I just bring it up that far again. So there you go. That's how to change a blade. Most of you probably already know that, but if you don't, hey, there you go. So then I get my ruler or whatever you use to cut the straight line with. And then watch your fingers, you guys. And then you're not looking to go through it, but I probably score it, make sure it doesn't move. Score through it about 2 or 3 times. And then all you do is just snap. See how easy that is, you guys? It makes a clean snap. And I still don't remove the film. I don't remove the film till I absolutely have to because it has fingerprints on it. I don't want fingerprints on the inside. So that was just a quick showing you how to cut plexiglass. It's kind of like cutting glass. You score it and then you snap. Okay, so next you're going to need this and your other piece of plexiglass cut to size. I already cut mine out. And now I'm going to remove one side of the film. You'll also need your copper tape. They do make a tape dispensary to help glide on the tape easier around your piece. I don't have one, so it's a little tedious, but we got through it. You just kind of want to make sure when you line it up, it's even on both sides because it's going to be wrapped around. Where's my example at? Where'd she go? Oh, there it is. So this is what we're creating. See how it's even on both sides there? Now when I remove this, and plexiglass scratches very easily, so you're going to want to be careful. You're just going to take this off, the film, and look how beautiful that is, just like glass. And then I take a soft cloth because once you have this taped up, you can remove the tape and redo it. This is soldering tape. I wouldn't solder this because this is thin plastic and it heats up really hot. I do solder, but I use glass. And I have hit the heat gun with this and it has warped. So I don't believe soldering would be proper for this because if you put it on there, and it heats it up and then it'll warp and it'll start warping and you don't want that. So make sure that you have a soft cloth. You get all your fingerprints off or smudges and oil and you're going to face this down. Now this one's a little bit big, not too big, just by like a hair. You can put your finger on top of there because the film is still there. before I put the tape around, I didn't want any movement. I was afraid that there might be a little movement. You can just put a little tiny bit of this glue up on top because you don't want it too far down, because you don't want it seeing through the tape. You just kind of are trying to tack it down so it doesn't move while you're putting the copper foil on. So I just put a tiny bit, and then we're just gonna put that on here. Whoops. I try to create as little mistakes as possible. Sometimes that is easier said than done. So there you go. And I got this off of Amazon if you guys are interested. I'm trying to let you guys know exactly where I got things. So there's the back, and here's the front. Okay. Now, to the tedious part. So, we're going to take our copper tape, and I'm just going to cut this little piece off here. Sorry if you can hear my dogs or me breathing. I apologize. My phone is like right here. Like right in my face pretty much. I tried recording off my other new camera that I got, and the quality just doesn't seem to be there. So we're trying it this way. Okay. I don't know where my pliers or my tweezers are. This will bend very easily. It's very thin, and you don't want to get too much of your fingers on here. Because it oils, you want a good adhesion to the glass. Okay. Okay, now we're going to take the top layer off because we don't want to put the copper over the plastic. So make sure you remove that, and then I kind of just clean up the edges. You can put your fingers in the middle because we can clean that up. But I just want to make sure it's clean around the edges. Okay. Like I said, like I said, I probably need to get the little apparatus that you put this in so you can put your tape on easier. I'm just trying to stay in focus as well. And you don't want to curl this up too much. Okay, we can see. So what you do is you lay this down, and I start kind of on the side, and you're going to have to eyeball it on each side. Okay. Make sure that's clean on the edge here. And then you're going to bring it up, and you're going to roll it over. I'm going to pull some more tape back. Like I said, what you're trying to look for is it being even on each side. Okay. Make sure. Okay. And then I bring it over. And I overlap just a little bit. Here's going to be another little tricky spot here. Okay. Then you're going to, oops, this one got off a little bit. There we go. Bring it up and over. Okay. So it looks like that. So this is kind of like this would be, exactly if you were to solder. This is the step. So what I do is I just fold it over. Get everything folded over first. And then we're going to burnish down the corners. I'm also going to antique or oxidize this copper as well. You can leave it at this step. You don't have to go further. But I like the way it just adds an extra grunge to it. So then you're going to take your bone folder. You're just going to burnish this down. This is what you would do as well if you were going to solder. I kind of get the corners flat. Make sure everything is adhered. I love copper tape. I love to solder too. But I also love that I can show you guys, you know, this way as well. And you don't have to, you know, get into all that soldering and stuff if you don't want to, but you kind of love the look. And soldering kind of adds some bumps and it you know, it has that organic feel to it. And you don't, you know, you can achieve that faux solder different ways. Like I've seen a video like years ago, like 10, more than that, like 10, 15 years ago, where they used UD on the side. I'm not sure what UD produces anymore. They used to have like a pewter color. I have like the melting pot still that is, I think this is Ranger. Yeah, Ranger made all kinds of UD colors. I have big jars of the clear and I don't have any of the pewter left. But they dipped it in the sides, right? And then they let it cure or cool. And then it kind of looked like faux solder. Now you don't want to go over your glass or your plexiglass because like I said, it will scratch. And we want to keep that pretty glass feel. Then you can go ahead and buff it. The next thing you're going to do, liver sulfur is, you know, says to be non-toxic, but I have a window open right now. It's nice out. You can probably hear the wind. And most of the time I'll use gloves, especially, you know, I don't want it on my fingers. But you just need, I stated in a video that liver sulfur is very potent as far as it's very concentrated, and that is even way too much. You can see that right here. Way too much. So you just want a tiny bit, and I kind of keep it in its plastic. And then you're going to take a brush. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit of a mess here. I'll hold that down for a second. You want actually a really thin brush. And then you're going to dip it in some water. You're just going to pull from it. And it smells like rotten eggs, you guys. So it's kind of why I have my window open over here. Now this is and now you're just going to want to hit the metal. You're not, you know, I don't want a chance at seeping in and getting on the picture. So I'm just going to, you're going to see this transform magic. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that beautiful? I just love it. And then you can kind of buff it off a little bit if you don't care for how black it gets, but the stuff is so potent that it oxidizes like quick. And you have to be careful, like I stated, if you use it out of the jar with just a little bit of water. If you use it on the copper leaf that I showed in the previous tutorial, that it will eat through it. So I'm even cautious with how much, you know, I'm diluting it down pretty well, because it just, like I said, usually this drop would be in a big cup of water. But I like the instant black look, especially on this tape, so I'm going to use it at a higher strength. Okay. But I just love how it just gives it that black look. Then we're going to finish the back. And I have mixed media brushes I use for mixed media, or I don't care if they get ruined But this liver sulfur doesn't seem to ruin my brushes. I just make sure I wash it. I do not dump. So if you're going to use liver sulfur, I always like to have some knowledge behind it that I share with you. So if you use liver sulfur, do not, this is at its full strength. And when you mix it with water, hot water, that's usually how you use it when you're going to oxidize big pieces. Like I do a lot of copper art. Excuse me, guys. You don't want to dump it down your sink. It will you can neutralize it with baking soda, or you can wait a couple of days to neutralize it before you dump it. But you don't want to neutralize, or you don't want to dump anything down your sink that you're not sure what it's going to do. I'm very careful with that. Okay. So, I can take my, well, this kind of stuff makes your fingers black a little bit. And I'm trying to keep my hands clean for once, especially when I'm doing a tutorial. My nails are always crazy. So anyways, you're going to buff back just a little bit. Again, just kind of gives it that fun antique-y, grungy look. Now, if you buffed off too much and you're like, oh man, it's too much, copper coming back, you can just add a little bit more liver of sulfur on there. I'm just kind of buffing the highlights. You can do the back too as well. Oh, I forgot one side. Whoops. Let's see. Where is my liver of sulfur? There it is. And my brush. I'm just going to grab some in here, you guys, because don't do this if you're me. You contaminate. Let some water. Get this one side that I missed. It's so fun seeing things like turn. Now you can also use, if you love that look, I have patina. It's another chemical that you have to be, use caution with. But I could add some blue patina around this if I wanted to. I always clean my brushes right away. Especially these little ones. I love these little ones. Okay, so just clean up that spot right there. And you can do this before if you want to, or you can add a back to it if you want to. I didn't add a back to it because that's just another layer that the copper has to go around. And that copper is 1/4 of an inch. So that's the size of the copper I used. Okay, so there. We have our little faux glass framed picture. And then I just clean that up with a soft cloth. Now, I'll show you the reason why I put the little back on, because it kind of has a gap in there, and I didn't like that gap. So, this is optional as well. And I love this little art glitter glue. I bought some art glitter glue on Amazon, and it came with these little awesome tubes. The needle point tip there. So this is where we're at. Isn't that awesome, you guys? I don't know. I just love it. We're almost done. And you can embellish this up more if you want to. You can put, I love using encaustics, but if you want a faux encaustic, Seth Apter makes one. It's vintage beeswax, I believe. Anyway, so this one I put, what is that? Clear rock candy, because it already had cracks in it. So I just put a little bit. It's just another layer. You don't have to, guys. But I just took... So you have to let this dry on its own. And so I'll just do it on this one. Just use a palette knife it on. And that just gives another little layer on the sides if you like. But I'd let this dry, the rock candy dry first. But anyways. So yeah, that's what we're gonna look for. All right, I'm gonna clean up this little area, and then when I come back, we're gonna put the paper clip on the back, and then we're going to finish this little guy up. Okay, we're back. So we're gonna be working on this one. We're gonna finish up this one. Sorry, you guys. Sully, go sit down, honey. And we're gonna be finishing up this one. So you'll want another piece of scrapbook paper. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue that to the back. And that's going to be your hidden paper clip. So all I did was I left this on top so it kind of stuck up there. I kind of liked it the way it looked. So you're just going to have your paper clip covered. And then, we all know, just to glue it down. You can use fabric tack as well. I really like using that. It's a really good glue as well. And it's almost sunset, or it's almost the golden hour, so the sun is moving on me. Okay. Then I'm going to take these little clamps. Just going to clamp them down. Clamp the paper down. So... Alright, so we're going to let that dry, and then that's pretty much done. Unless you wanted to do the collage, like I said on, sorry for my arm. You can finish that off, because that's pretty much done. But you can also, like I said, put a little bit of collage here if you want to. You don't have to, but that's just what I did. Especially because it was the focal point of the front of the journal. I liked how something hung down. But if you're not going to, if you just like it how it is, then just do it that way. But like I said, you can put a little bit of texture on there as well. You could do some crackle, white opaque crackle on there on the edges. You could, could do all kinds of stuff on this little clipboard. So let's see if that's glued. And then we'll finish this one up and then go to the next one. So there you go, guys. And there you have it. You have a little hidden paper clip. Isn't that awesome? So there's that one. And then I thought I would just show you, because I wanted to emphasize on this a little bit. I do have a tutorial on how to do these kind of dangle hidden paper clips. If I don't link it, it's in my playlist under my tutorials. I did it a few years ago, and it's kind of like a sped up video. But I'm going to show you a little bit how I did this one. So this is pretty much done. We're just going to put it together really quick. So I take my scraps and I layer them. I always put string. I put everything. I save all my scraps and I make these little things. I use these a lot on my spines of my journals. On this one I did not. I kind of just left it. But usually I'll have this on my side of my journal as well. This one I was just trying to be a little bit different. But so you make your little collage-y, whatever you want to call these little layered grungy pieces of fabric, netting. I even put paper in there. Everything for me is a layer. And then I did the glass. We showed you how to do that. And then I also did back that. I wire wrapped it and kind of secured it up here on the top. And then I use a dangle right there, and I put the word free on there. And then I'm going to show you how I sew these on. This is also going to be, this is like going to be a double. It's already threaded that, guys. This is going to be like a double. Sorry, the sun's coming in. A double hidden paper clip. So what I do is I'm just trying to attach the fabric to the book plate. So that's sometimes when I do the fabric, there will be fabric poking out here, and I'll just go through and I'll sew through the middle. It's, yeah, you'll have to check out my tutorial, but I also put fabric in the center as well. Then I'll come down to the bottom and catch the other hoop, the opening, and just sew that on. You could also, if you didn't want to tack this on, you could have hot glued it, the paper. I like the thread, just another layer of texture. But you could have taken this, because it had the paper back, and hot glued it. Okay. Now we're going to sew on the paper clip. Okay, we're back. I thought I needed a longer piece of thread. So this is different from my other ones. Doing this together, guys. All I am looking for is just a tacking on, just for extra security, the paper clip. So you don't have to go crazy, you just want to tack it on. Usually I'll go through the center here because there's fabric. So I'm kind of having to do it a little bit different. Okay. And I think I'm just going to bring this down. Sometimes I have to think about it because we don't want to interrupt, you know, being able to slide something up here. So I think I'll just go down here. Then I'm just going to tack it right here. I think that'll be good. It's okay. Sometimes this thread gets stuck. This is a little bit difficult because, like I said, I'm usually going through a different way. Oops. Just a couple stitches, and then you're going to just tie it off. And then when we put the piece of fabric on, it's also going to be glued down with hot glue. Okay. Sorry if the sun's creeping through, you guys. Might have to move. Okay, so it's still gonna feel like loosey-goosey, but it's fine. And then you're gonna take your piece of fabric clip it up through there. Shimmy it up on the top to the top. I don't know, this is my version of the hidden paper clip. I mean, just another way to attach a dangle for me. I really like dangles. I like textures and layers and heights and whatnot. So you're just going to need some glue. Okay. Luckily I have everything, I'm pretty organized in here unless I'm working on a project, then it becomes a kind of a crazy little mess, but okay. Careful, it's hot. Alright guys, so I think we're done. We have 2 different dangles. So you can clip it on here. So you can have it this way. Like this. Oh my gosh, those are so amazing. Look at that. Look how cool that looks with all those layers and textures. So fun. Or you can take this off and go that way. So I hope you guys give these a go. If you do, please tag me. I love seeing everybody's takes and their ideas. We all learn from each other. I don't mind sharing some small tutorials with you. I hope that I'm doing a decent job. I'm not the best. Well, I'm learning. We're all learning. We're all in practice, right? So practice makes better. Anyways, I love to share some of my ideas. But yeah, I'd love to see these on your projects. If you give these a go, please tag me. I would love to see it. I hope everybody's having a wonderful fall. And yeah, let me know what you think. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.